What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the vlog. Today we're actually working on one of the last two key components before we started the car, which is our power steering line. So as you guys know, I kind of ran into a little situation with the original kit that I was going with. So I was originally but before I say anything, this is not the company's fault or anything like that. Basically, I purchased it at the wrong timing. It's pretty much what happened. Not the company's fault or anything like that, but basically, I bought a power steering cooler kit with the lines and the power cooler, so that way for this car. It was from Chase Base, and again, it's not the company fault. They're amazing. They're great service, great customer service, and all that. They kept me up to date with everything that was going on, and with the whole pandemic stuff that's going on, that's kind of what pushed everything back. So it's not their fault. But in the other situation, so basically they're revamping their kits, which kind of prolonged me receiving this upgraded kit, and it's been 2 months and so forth, so I canceled the order, and I actually picked up another kit without the cooler, which is totally fine for right now. So again, in the future, once their kit's up and ready and developed and ready to go, I will then upgrade to that kit. But in the meantime, right now, what I did, I got the power steering kit from SIKKY manufacturing. It's for the E46 LS swap, but basically I have my high pressure line, that's pretty much what I need. I have my low pressure line with all the fittings and the clamp and so forth, which will go also work with this reservoir that I have. So I originally took mine off that came with the LS kit. The reason why, with the intentions of the Chase Base, because it came with a reservoir as well, which was the AM fitting, but this one's the factory one that came with the kit, so gonna be putting that back on and getting that situated. So again, this kind of sucks a little bit because I have to go with this route, but again, they had this in stock ready to go, and I got it within 2-3 days, which was perfect. So this way I can get this completed. The front end will be officially completed, and except for the vacuum lines, but I'm waiting for that when we do the ECM, so that way take care of that. So that's basically the situation that I ran in. So basically today I'm going to be showing you guys the installation process of the power steering cooler kit for the LS swap, because no one's actually done this. I don't know why. And there's no videos of the SIKKY one, so it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to show you guys and hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to it. So another thing that I want to mention is the pricing between both of these. So the Chase Base one, that came with the cooler kit, which came with the reservoir, with the fittings and all the lines and everything ready to go, that cost around $400. So it was $400 with the cooler. It was $319 without the cooler. This one so I already had the factory reservoir, which is fine. So excluding that, but the lines and the fittings itself alone was $160, which is a big dramatic difference in pricing. And so I'm really excited for it. I've been waiting for this for 2 months, and because I originally wanted the Chase Base kits because of the power steering cooler and the reservoir and all that stuff nice and clean instead of this reservoir. Well, again, that I will upgrade to that in the future when the kit is ready and developed, ready to go. But in the meantime, to get the car running and drive it, have some fun with it, do some burnies and everything with this car, and in the meantime, I want this up and running and be drivable. So first thing first is I don't have the bumper attached, so I'm going to basically move it to the side. Basically going to be removing this cross member, the radiator, intercooler piping. That way I have more room. I don't know if I'll probably remove the crossover from the turbo. Probably not, but just the radiator, I'll probably get that out of the way so that way I can have more room to go. So that way I don't have to crawl underneath the car. So let me get that stuff going and I'll be right back. Okay, so now since I have majority of the front end off, I'm not gonna remove the crossover because I can get to the lines right here, which is perfect. And then I will need to crawl underneath the car, but again, that's not a big deal for a little bit of stuff. So, first thing I need to do is I need to remove the belt so I can get to the power steering right here, so I can get to the reservoir and mount the reservoir back onto here. So let me get to that. So my other camera that was recording fell and broke. So I don't know if it's a lens or the actual body that was the issue of the camera. So I don't know. I'll figure that part out later. But gotta keep recording. Gotta show you guys what's going on. So I removed the actual bracket and everything for the power steering, which is right here. I'm going to mount the reservoir back on. So basically this is the high and the low for the power steering. So this SIKKY one came with like 4 different fittings. I'm sure one is for the high, and which will go plug into the AN. These two look the same, so this could go into my actual rack. So I'm not sure. I gotta look into that. And there's an extra fitting. I don't know what that one's for, so I gotta see what that's for. And this is my low, which will then plug into here and be all good. So it's gonna go like this and then boop, flop into there. So yeah, or this would go into here and this would go into there. That's pretty much what it's gonna do, like that. Yeah, this will go here, that goes here, and boom. So let me put the reservoir back onto here, remove this line. I'm gonna try to see if I can put like a time lapse off my phone. So again, if you guys see the notice in different quality, that's because I had to switch over to my phone until I figure out another camera situation. So hope this works. So I figured it out. We could remove the pulley from here, because I can't get to the fitting with the pulley already on it because it is fairly close and I don't want to cross the threads. So what we're gonna do is either go to AutoZone and pick up the part, or we're just gonna go to your local mechanic shop and see if they can just quickly help me out with removing the pulley so I don't have to buy the tool, because I kind of don't want that tool, or kind of do this part, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna take the fittings with me because I believe this is the correct fitting, but I am going to take all the fittings I have because just to make sure. That's the main thing. I don't want to get involved into a situation and not have the fitting, so we're gonna take all of this. So we'll be right back. I have the pulley removed and I put on that fitting as we talked about with enough clearance. I test fitted one of the AN fittings onto there and it works perfectly fine. So that's that. I am about to eat my food and I'll be back. Now is go ahead and put the bracket with the reservoir back onto the head and then figure out which one's my high and the low pressure coming out of this. So, which I would start to have to unbolt. So let me get this mounted and we're gonna start removing those hoses. So I don't know if you guys can see that the one with the open hole right there, that's the low pressure. The one above it, which is the actual, that's our high pressure line. So we just gotta remember the high pressure's on top and the low pressure's on the bottom. So yeah, I got the first one out. That was a 22 millimeter. And the top one, I think that's a 19 or 18, but let me double check. The top one is the high pressure, is a 19 millimeter. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and get that squared away. So now since we have both those two out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach those fittings and attach the hose and get this kind of set up a little bit. Remember to take off the old washers because the new one does come with the washers. Realize is as I threaded those on, this one, the one that I thought was the same, was a different thread pattern from the low pressure one. So they aren't the same, so they're different threads. So make sure you check which one threads perfectly into it. You do not want to cross thread them or you're gonna need a new rack. So those are the ones I hand screwed in, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this signed up. And I'm definitely not gonna use the impact, just gonna do some ugga-duggas with the wrench and get that squared away. And then that way I can tighten up with my AN hoses. It's nice and tightened up. So remember, the top one is the high pressure, the bottom one is the low pressure. The reason why I say the top one's the high pressure is because the way the hoses are. This one right here, this is the high pressure one because that's also the same one that shows up on the manufacturer, saying that this is the high pressure and that's the low pressure fitting right over there. That high pressure is going to come up and it's going to go into our pump, which is right over here. We have our two hoses, so high pressure is going to be this braided one right over here, and our low pressure one is going to be this rubber one. This is going to hold on with the low hose clamp. Got our high pressure already from the pump going all the way to the rack. You guys can see it right over there. If not, we got the lights. Handy dandy light. Let's go. Sorry for the noise of the fan. It's hot. So that is the fitting that goes into the pump. I am about to tighten it. It goes and wraps over perfectly around my header, so just perfect. It goes into the pump, and then I have the little, I'll close this. I have the little hose that goes from here to here. Get that, and this is gonna be my low pressure. All right, so okay, so got both the two fittings on, got those tightened up, and they both come upwards against the header, and this one's going into the actual reservoir. This one's going to tee into the pump, or not tee, it's going to join into the pump. I have that hose, which is perfect, and it's also perfect where both these two hoses are not against any of the heat and they are separate. I will tie this together, probably mount them to the frame or to the chassis, so that way they won't move or anything like that. But they're pretty kind of good where they're not routing into anywhere, which is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and put the belt back on and get these fully mounted. I am going to do hose clamp versus the factory stuff because I don't like the factory hardware. So yeah, that's on that. And would have to take off the reservoir again, which would be annoying because I don't want to do that. I got the reservoir all completed, got the hose clamp on it, on both of them, so that way that's situated, and then both the lines are fitted. I did go ahead and self-tap it over here for this hose, so that way it's out of the way. This other hose is definitely not touching anything, but I am zip tying it to one of these others, so I can turn this guy and kind of zip tie it to here, so that way it's not even touching any of the headers. Alright, so I finally got everything tied up, and this part's zip tied, so it's out of the way. Everything's mounted, cleared up. Put the belt back on. The majority of the coolant's put on. I just got put on the radiator, the fan, and the cross support, the big old orange thing right over here, and then we are done. So that's basically it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys learned on how to install the SIKKY power steering kit. Again, it wasn't too difficult. It just took a little time, but that's it. Everything that was in the kit worked perfectly, like as a charm, as it's supposed to. But if you guys have any questions, concerns, drop that comment down below so that way I can help you out. If not, smash the subscribe button, like the videos, and we'll catch you guys next video. Peace.